Never give up. Winners don't quit and quitters don't win. Well, how do you know when you're supposed to quit? How do you know when to quit and when to continue? You've also heard of the belief, well, sometimes in business, you gotta zig and zag, you gotta pivot. That's the word, right? Something doesn't work, you try something else. Something doesn't work, you try something else. But how do you know if you're actually pivoting or it's just like a shiny object syndrome for you? What is right? How do you know when to quit? Let me ask you this. How many times you try something? Maybe you are in business and you've been doing that business for some time now, maybe for years, and it's not kind of going a little bit, but it's not going anywhere soon, and you ask yourself, should I quit? Or maybe you're in a relationship. You've been with that person for a long time. You're like, we've been together a long time, but something, the love is not the same, the romance is not the same. Should we break up? When should you, quote unquote, quit? I started and failed at 13 businesses before having my first success. So technically, you could say I quit 13 times before having my first success. So if you have challenges knowing when to quit, I think this video would be the most important video that you've watched in a long, long time. Although it will require you to do some very deep thinking. So how do you know when to quit? The answer is self-awareness. It is self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the capacity to stand apart from yourself and examine your actions, your history, your motives, your drive, your habits. Self-awareness involves deep personal honesty. It requires you to ask very, very tough and hard questions. I noticed on YouTube, I could say 95% of your questions that you're asking me is because of low self-awareness. The question I see is, Dan, what business should I start? Dan, I've got some money here. How should I invest my money? Do you recommend cryptocurrency? Should I invest in real estate? What about how should I get this client? Or I'm in this situation, what should I do? All those questions low self-awareness. Low self-awareness, period. You don't understand yourself. The awareness is so low that you're not even sure what you should do. It's not even clear. It's not even a clarity issue. It's a self-awareness issue. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone is asking me, well, Dan, should I continue with this business? Should I quit? Should I give up? What should I do with this business? Because business is what I teach. That's the context. Instead of just telling you, well, yes or no, let me give you some questions to ponder and how you would see self-awareness in action. The questions you should ask, you should ask yourself, or I would ask you, is this: why are you even in this business in the first place? What motivates you to start this business? Does this business fit your natural talents and strength? And what qualifies you to be in this business? What's your edge? What's your plan for growth? Now you've been doing it for some time. Are you making any progress? Or are you just getting further in debt? Do you have a plan to grow in the next 3, 4, 5 years? Let's say if you do you have the right people, the right team to help you to take it to the next level? And if the business is losing money, how much cash you have in the bank that would help, that you can still use before you go bankrupt, right? And if you are not producing the results you're looking for, what skill sets that you need to develop in order to produce the results? Maybe it's closing, maybe it's sales, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's generating traffic to your website, maybe it is a certain negotiation skill. I don't know. I don't know you, but you should know you. All these questions, if you can answer those, you have a very clear idea if you should quit or not. And that's why people look to a third party, look to me, to look to somebody else and tell them, you should do this, you shouldn't quit, or when to quit. It's not a simple answer. It is all self-awareness. And that's why I love what Bruce Lee said. All knowledge ultimately leads to self-knowledge, knowing oneself, knowing yourself. But unfortunately, it's very, very sad because a lot of nowadays young people, entrepreneurs, their self-awareness level is so low. Their attention span is so short. And that's why they see a post on social media, they see Instagram post, they see a Facebook post, they see a YouTube video, and they say, oh, how should I do this? What about that? They can't even fucking think. They don't even know themselves. And sometimes the problem is you put on a mask for so long, and I'm talking to you. You put on a mask for so long, you don't even know who you are anymore. You don't even recognize yourself. Forget self-awareness. You don't even know who you are anymore. And if you don't know who you are, how are you going to have the self-awareness? So when to quit? I cannot answer the question. Ask yourself these tough, deep questions. Learn to think. Learn to think. Then you'll know when to continue and when to quit. Now go watch the next video.